am going to talk about the difference between my prelim task and my final. A lot has changed over the past several months regarding my skills, like the techniques I've started to use. From the prelim and the final, I've learnt to like edit the images within Photoshop way more professionally, I guess. For example, I've learnt how to blur out the background of an image, like for example the front cover of my music magazine. It was a brick wall and it was very difficult to kind of write in on the background, so using like Photoshop I've learnt how to edit it more and make it look a bit more professional, so I can work with the image in order to produce my front cover. And looking back at my prelim, I didn't really do a lot to edit the picture, maybe adjust the levels of the image and bring out the lighting or make it dimmer, but I didn't really do much else with it. Also, regarding the research, I looked way deeper into real media text for the music magazine. We spent ages planning just to see like what kind of features and common conventions of real media text were, so that I could incorporate it when I'm designing mine. For example, like we did the flat plan like we did for the prelim task, but this one was more thought out into what the real magazines really include, so I should include that. And also looked at the different types of house styles of different magazines, so that would be in every issue of my magazine. If I were to produce more magazines, that would be that common feature of that magazine. We also looked at different types of magazines, so you have like different genres, like mine is for example jazz and soul music magazine, whereas like others are pop, R&B, like you have a different range and what different genres really include in them. For example, jazz and soul, you wouldn't really include pop things, you would include possibly old jazz hits, new and upcoming soul and jazz artists. And also with the college magazine, I mostly guessed. I winged it. I really winged it. I didn't really plan it out. I kind of just thought, oh, I could include this. But I didn't really compare it to anything which was actually real, so obviously it wasn't professional as much as this one is. Also with the music magazine, we had a lot more time to produce it, whereas the prelim I kind of just did it in a couple weeks and it was done and dusted, whereas this one, more time and effort was spent into it, a lot of time researching, a lot of time planning which conventions my magazine might portray. Or with the music magazine, I looked into real front cover pages, especially of jazz and soul, real contents pages, real double page spreads, see what types of things each one includes, and analysed it and took out the common conventions of each one. And in comparison to the prelim, I didn't do that at all. I kind of just based it off of what I kind of thought was right for the task. However, it was quite hard for me to research jazz and soul magazines, as they're not as common as, for example, R&B, pop magazines. So it was very hard to base what I produced on my research. However, there was Blues and Souls magazine, which I mostly took most inspiration from, because it was really the only one I could find that I thought had the same link to what I was going to try and produce. So that did influence my front cover especially. However, contents page and double page spread, I could hardly find any, so I had to kind of base it on other media texts, such as maybe genres kind of similar a little bit, but mostly just look into other real media texts to just produce them. I've also found that the difference between the prelim task and my my music magazine, the prelim looks fake compared to the real magazine. Like the music magazine, the front cover is, especially because obviously that's the thing that audience see first, I think you could definitely mistake it as a real professional magazine, whereas my prelim, Step Up magazine for college, you could really see it was a college magazine. You can see it wasn't like properly published. Like when you're looking at comparisons between them, for example, the kind of fonts I've used, the type of image I used, the colours, like even I went a bit crazy with the drop shadow on the masthead of the prelim task. So there's like a big block of pink compared, and you know, just techniques like that. So yeah.